Hi, so some people have asked me how I've done my straps with one side of vinyl and one side of fabric, so I'm going to show you. So I have a piece of marine vinyl. It's the glitter marine vinyl. It is kind of thick, and that's why I didn't do the strap with the 8 layers of it. So I'm only doing 2, or I guess it would be 4 layers. So I have a piece of marine vinyl that I've cut 2 inches wide, and I've marked a 1-inch line down the middle. And then I have my piece of fabric. Now I've cut it just short of 2 inches, like maybe 1 inch and 7/8, and that's because I don't want it sticking out the sides of the vinyl on the top, so it sits nicely on the back of it. So basically what I'm going to do to the vinyl is the same as this fabric. So the fabric first, it was, just under 2 inches wide, and I went ahead and ironed the edges into the center on the back. And I kind of folded in the top so it has a nice finished edge there. And so this will be just shy of 1 inch wide. And so I just ironed it again, and that's my fabric. So with the vinyl, I have it, and I'm going to fold in my edges and just clip them. And just do that down one side. I do one side at a time. You get the idea here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stitch just kind of towards the middle to hold this side down. And I will go ahead and do that once I stitch all the way down this side. I forgot to mention that it's 14 inches long. That's just the length I like for my straps for like a wristlet. And so I'll go ahead and stitch this side, and then I'll go ahead and do the same. Come back, pin this, and then stitch kind of towards the middle, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's finished. Okay, so I folded over the 2 edges to the center, and I've just stitched kind of down the center. This is the back of it, obviously. And so this is the front. You get those nice 2 rows of the center stitching. One thing I forgot to mention is on the fabric piece, if you're going to fold it over to have a finished edge, like I said, mine is 14 inches long. You'll want to make the fabric piece like 14.5 inches long, so you can fold over each edge 1/4 of an inch, and it'll be the same length as your vinyl piece. Otherwise, if you do it 14, it'll be just short. So you want to do it just a little longer so that you can fold over your edges. So I've got my 2 pieces. This is the front of each piece. And so you've got the back of them, and just put the pieces together. And see how that fabric piece doesn't peek out over the vinyl piece. Kind of just sits right there in the back. And then what you'll do is just line it up, make it look nice. And then you have your vinyl on one side and your fabric on the other, and just stitch down the edge, and you'll have a really nice vinyl / fabric strap. So I've sewed my fabric piece onto my vinyl piece, and you can see that because the fabric's a little bit, it's not as wide as the 1 inch, that the vinyl piece just has the vinyl showing on the one side, and then the fabric piece here. And then you've got those 4 rows of stitching, the 2 center ones from folding the vinyl over, and then your outside edge ones. And then you can go ahead and add your little clip thing to it, however you normally do. I'm going to go ahead and add my hook here to my strap. I'm just going to put it on here. Because I have these 2 raw edges on the vinyl, I'm going to go ahead and just turn the vinyl sides together. And then I'm just going to add a row of stitching here, and that's going to close it up for me. So I sewed the 2 edges together, and it is kind of bulky with the vinyl. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. This is the way that I do it. If anyone has a great idea, let me know, or a good tutorial to follow to make this edge a little more finished looking. But I just kind of set my clip in there, and then I kind of fold it up, so then I get it to look like this. And I've poked a hole here so that I can put my rivet in there. I'm going to show you how to do it. I use the rivet press. So I'm going to use a 9mm rivet. And this is so easy if you have a press to just set the rivet in there and it sits in there nicely. So I've got the dies here, the 9mm dies, and this unthreaded one goes on the bottom and the threaded one goes in the top, and this is so easy. And then I've got my strap. Like I said, I've got my hole already. Just gotta find it now. I'm gonna poke my rivet through there. So we've got one end with the long, and then the cap here. I'm gonna snap that on there. Then I'm just going to set this in my press. Make sure that snaps on there. And just give it a good little push. And now my rivet is on there, and I've got a beautiful strap.